Okay, students, in our last class, you might be remembering that we talked about the bus transfer, how bus transfer happens from one register to another register. Then after creating this hardware, we also talked about the micro operations possible, like we can transfer, we can make use of these micro operations A to B, B to C, C to D, D to A, from any register to any register with the additional support of the hardware. So that means the connection lines can be extended from this bus to all these registers through some control mechanism load, and then the transfer can happen. So in today's class, I'll also talk about the other alternative which is possible as far as bus transfer is concerned. Now the register transfer from register to bus is also possible. The common bus structure is also possible through. So bus transfer is also possible through a mechanism, through a circuitry, we call that as tri-state buffer. Now what is a tri-state buffer? In digital electronics, you might have read about what is the important function of a buffer. Buffer is used to hold the data, but what should be the length of the buffer? So if I am drawing one symbol, so that means it can hold only one bit of data. So first of all, this is the symbol for buffer. So what is the function of this buffer? The function of this buffer is that whatever is available in the input is available at the output. Suppose if I am giving 0 here, the 0 is available here. If I am giving 1 here, 1 is available here. It is used to hold the data 0, 0, 1, 1. But we are talking here about tri-state buffer. So that means there is one more connection attached to this buffer element, and this connection plays a very, very important role as far as functionality of this buffer is concerned. Now remember, in my last class I talked about that register transfer directly is also possible, and register transfer through some conditions, through some control circuitry is also possible, depending upon what is the requirement. If you want a hardware that should transfer based on certain conditions, so we can create a hardware of that sort. But if we want, no, it should directly get transferred, we can create a hardware of that sort. Anyway, so here the buffer also work with some certain conditions. So what are the conditions? Let us say the input is here A, the output is here C. Now the input is available to output is in the case of buffer, but here the input depends upon the third leg attached to buffer. So let us say the name of this input is or leg is some x. Now when x is equal to 1, now A equal to C. When x is equal to 1, A equal to C. So that means depending upon the input of x, if x is all high, so it behaves as a normal buffer. But when x is equal to 0, high impedance. Now what is this high impedance? High impedance, for the time being, you take it as an open circuit. Open circuit means you have two wires. You are supplying electrical power through this, but since you have an open circuit, it will not get transferred on this output leg. So you have input leg, output leg. So input leg, you are giving electricity you are supplying power, but there is an open circuit and output leg, nothing will get transferred. So, high impedance state is like that. So, what does this indicate? This indicates that you can control the operation of this bus through this input also, and this input, whenever you supply this as the high input, then only the the input contents gets transferred to the output content. Now, how can we use tri-state buffer to transfer and create a common bus structure? Now, let me write down here, I have 4 resistors A, B, C, D. I have 4 resistors A, B, C, D. A, B, C, and D. And this is A0, A1, A2, A3. This is B0, B1, B2, B3. This is C0, C1, C2, C3, and this is D0, D1, D2, and D3. Since it becomes very convenient to show tri-state buffer like this, not and not like this, so I'll show tri-state buffers as, let me take 3 tri-state buffers, or I'll use this input like this. This one, 2, second one, third one, and fourth one. Now, tri-state buffer works with decoders. So, what is a decoder? In digital electronics, you might have learned about decoders. Decoder is basically an electronic circuitry which takes n inputs and gives you 2 raised power n output. So, here if I am using number of inputs as 2, S0, S1, so it will give me output as 4. So, 0, 1, 2, and 3. Now, this S0, S1 input is very much important, because in multiplexers it was completely controlling the operation of the multiplexer. So, it used to supply 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1 and provide the output as the 0 line as the output, then first line as the output, then the second line as the output, and then the third line as the output. Similarly, here it works. Of course, there is an enable input also, but for the timing let us discard that, let us ignore that. Now, here when we supply 0, 0, we need a common bus structure. Remember, we need a common bus structure. Common bus structure means the contents of resistor A should get transferred on the common bus. Okay. So, now whenever we supply 0, 0, so we are activating 0th line. We are activating 0th line. Now, here if I connect this as the 0th input, this as the first input, this as the second input, and this as the third input. Okay. Now, remember here 0, 0, I am activating 0. So, that means the contents of resistor A should get transferred. So, I will say I am activating 0th line, I am not activating first line, second line, third line. So, that means this, I will say this is A0, my A0 is here. Fine. So, when I say 0, 1, when I say 0, 1, so 0, 1 means I am transferring my B0, and B0 gets transferred here. Similarly, 1 0 C naught gets transferred here. Similarly, D naught and D naught gets transferred here. Now this is only the bit position. So A naught is we connect here. This is A naught, this is B naught, this is C naught, and this is D naught. Now are we transferring the contents of the whole register? No, we are transferring only one bit position. Now if I use four these decoders, suppose for example if I use here one more decoder, so I say this is 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. If I say this is S0 and S1, if I short this S0 and if I short this S1, now I have 0th bit. So now I am using a tri-state buffer here also, tri-state buffer here also, tri-state buffer here also, tri-state buffer here also, but the control of this tri-state buffer is connected to 0, 1, 2 and 3. Oh sorry, 0, 1, 2, 3, not the fourth one, okay, because only 4 output. So what does these represent? When I am giving 0, 0, I want A naught should get transferred onto the bus. So this is A naught. What will be this? This is A naught. What will be this? A naught. This will be A1. A1, A2, sorry, A1, B1, C1, D1. Similarly, when I use one more this decoder, so I will get the output as A2, B2, C2, D2, then A3, B3, C3, D3. Now I am getting so many output, so I need to short all those output. For example, if when I say S0, S1 is equal to 0 and 1, this first output will get transferred. So ultimately all A naughts, A0, A1, A2, A3, B0, B1, B2, B3, C0, C1, C2, C3, we should combine and form that 0, 0, A0, A1, A2, A3, all should get transferred on the 4 lines of the output bus. 4 lines of the output bus. So this was about the tri-state buffer. Now let's move on to the memory transfer. Let's move on to the memory transfer. So memory is a complete chapter, and we have to discuss memory in complete detail, in depth. So in my memory section, I'll be talking about different types of memories, like register is also a memory. Then I'll be talking about associative memory. I'll be talking about the random access memory or the read-only memory, and how these memory are attached with the hardwares and how the transfer happens. So which one is the permanent memory and which one is the temporary memory. But for the time being, let us understand how this section transfers the data now to the memory. So earlier it was register to the common bus transfer. Now I want to transfer from this common bus to this registers which I have shown, and now this common bus to the memory. So before I talk about memory, first of all, before I talk about the common bus structure or the connections which the CPU used to transfer, first of all I should talk about the memory. A very short introduction. Memory is something like this. So let me say this is memory. Memory has so many inputs, so it takes the data input, okay. So it takes the address input, okay, and now it takes the control inputs as read and write. So it has the output. So if I want to transfer the data from this to this, so I should make use of this data line. So data gets transferred, I should provide the address, and then I should provide the required signal whether I want to read or I want to write. If I want to write, the data gets transferred here. If I want to read, if I am activating this line, then my data should get flowed here. But how is it connected with the CPU? Now if you see in CPU, these are the two external registers wherein we attach the memory. So that means this module is completely attached with this module. So let us discuss this. Now when this module is completely attached with this module, so that means the memory is connected with central processing unit. Okay. Now what are the micro operations we can write down? We can write down the micro operations like when read is high, I am supplying read to memory. So that means I am going to read from the memory. So memory should provide me the data. So that means the data gets stored to, there are only two registers. So that means I should use the address, the memory which has been provided with the address MAR, so I am just showing it as AR, should transfer the contents to MDR, DR. I am ignoring the M here. So this is nothing but AR and this is nothing but DR. Here memory address register indicating that this is attached to memory. Now when I am attaching memory, so let me forget about M. So I will say AR, this is the address which provides the required address to the memory. Now memory has got the address. Now memory has got the signal read. So read when high, oh read, so I need to provide the data. So memory provides the data, where it provides the data to DR. If you see, this line is unidirectional, this bus is unidirectional, but this bus is bidirectional. So that means the data can be taken from this DR to memory also, and the data can be provided from memory to DR also. Now here what is happening, MAR to DR read, and now if I write down this write, when write is high, it becomes ulta. So it becomes MAR DR. So whatever is stored in the content in this register DR, whatever is stored, whatever contents lies within this register gets transferred to memory. कौन से location पे? The location address provided by AR register. So these micro operations, I call this as memory transfer. So there are only two transfer, read and write. But memory has a different data path and memory has a different address path. Here I am showing only one transfer, it's basically number of bits of transfer. So it may be 4-bit transfer, it may be 16-bit transfer, it may be 32-bit transfer, it may be 64-bit transfer, depending upon whatever is the width of the bus and whatever is the size of the memory. Okay. I think this is not required now. So in my basic central processing unit, I have discussed about this is the one register, this is the another register, this is the another register, this is the another register. How these registers are combined together form a bank of registers, and how these registers are clubbed with this bus transfer, and how this bus can transfer from this to this, from this to this, from this to this, or from any one register to any other register. Now let us talk about this second important section, and that second important section is called as ALU. So I will be discussing about micro operations. Micro operations. Now there are four important classes of micro operation. Number one is transfer micro operation. So I don't know whether I have talked about what exactly a micro operation is. A micro operation is basically an operation which we perform on the data stored in a register. So a micro operation is an operation which we perform on the data stored in a register. So now 4 classes of micro operations. First is transfer micro operations, second is arithmetic micro operations, third is logic micro operations, now fourth is the shift micro operations. I have already discussed this transfer micro operations. So we have already covered how the transfer happens from one register to another register, then from register to bus, then from bus to register, or between registers, then also from bus to memory and from memory to bus. Now let us talk about the second important micro operation, that is called as arithmetic micro operation. Now, earlier our focus was towards the transfer of data from one register to another register without taking care whether the contents of register have been modified or not. Now here today our focus is completely on modification of the data, because when I say arithmetic operation, addition modifies the contents of the data, the contents of the register, sorry. The subtract operation, it modifies the contents of the register. So whether source register content here also gets modified or not, depending upon what type of micro operation we are performing, because in register transfer I have told you specifically that if we transfer the contents from one register to another register, the source register remains unmodified. So here, depending upon the micro operation, we can say whether the contents are getting modified or not, but mostly arithmetic, logic and shift micro operations modify the contents of the registers. Okay. Now arithmetic micro operations, before building the hardware for arithmetic micro operations, first of all we should understand what are the arithmetic operations which are possible in our central processing unit. Now we may talk about the addition operation. Secondly, we would like to have a subtraction operation, multiply and division. Let us leave that, because successive addition is nothing but multiplication, division is nothing but the successive the subtraction. So multiplication and division, let's leave that. Addition, subtraction, then third, increment operation, then fourth, decrement operation. So all these things should get possible. Then only we say we have an arithmetic unit capable of doing addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, increment, decrement. So let us say all these basic micro operations should be possible. Now all these micro operations are possible only if we have minimum 2 registers. For example, if I have 2 registers R1 and R2. Okay. So when we talk about addition operation means the contents of R1 should get added with the contents of R2, and then where to supply the result. So either I want to transfer it to R1 or I want to transfer it to R2. So this micro operation shows that the contents of register R1 should get added with the contents of register R2 and the result should get supplied to R1 back. Now here the original contents of R1 are lost completely, but if I use R2, the original contents of R2 is lost. Similarly for subtraction, if I say R1 minus R2, is it possible? It is possible, but only thing is, in digital circuitry there is no subtraction directly possible. Like in mathematics, if we say subtract 3 minus 2, the result is 1. But this is not possible in digital circuitry, we all know. So, to incorporate this operation, we have to make use of 2's complement. We have to make use of 2's complement. So, what is that 2's complement? The 2's complement is nothing but, first of all, you have to complement the contents of resistor R1, then you have to increment it, then only it becomes 2's complement. Okay. Fine. But here I am saying R1 minus R2. So, that means this micro operation can be written as the R1 plus R2 bar. I am complementing here because I am subtracting this, plus 1. Now, this is possible. This is possible in digital circuitry. Third one is increment. I want to increment the contents of resistor. So, R1 should get incremented by 1, or similarly decrement, R1 should get decremented by 1. Now, is this possible minus 1? No. So, here also I should use complement strategy. Anyway, so what circuitry, hardware circuitry I need so that all these arithmetic micro operations are possible? So, I will be dealing all that hardware circuitry in my next class. Thank you very much.